Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, everyone. In this class, we're going to look at the ta al-marboota. The ta al-marboota. So what is the ta al-marboota? First of all, we've got this word ta in our definition, okay? The ta. And this is referring to the letter ta, the letter that we're very acquainted with by this stage, okay? So we know it's got something to do with the ta. And then we have al-marboota. The word marboota means to be tied up, okay? It means to be tied up, all right? So we know just by looking at that, it's going to be a ta which is tied up, okay? So let's look at some of these examples and then inshallah, it should be crystal clear. So the first word we're looking at is kuratun. Kuratun. The kaf has the dhamma, ku. The ra has the fatha, ra. And here at the end we have a ta al-marboota, a tied up ta, okay? It's got the two dots above it as well. And we've got the dhammatan, or the tanween al-dhamma, all right? The tanween al-dhamma, or dhammatan, meaning two dhammas. So it would end with a N sound, okay? Kuratun. So as you can see, the ta marboota is making the same sound as if it was a normal ta, but it's been tied up, okay? Let's bring the ta that we're aware of closer. So here we can see the normal ta that we've been looking at already, and this is also known as the ta al-maftuha, meaning the open ta, okay? The open ta. So here you can see it's opened, but then if it's closed off like this ta here, then it becomes the ta al-marboota. It's as if we joined this side with this side, okay? It's as if we tied those two sides together and made it into the ta al-marboota. It's really as straightforward as that, okay? So we've got kuratun as this example, and then we've got this word here, the waw with the fatha, wa, the ra with the sukoon. Remember the absence of a vowel, so together it would be war. And then the dal with the fatha, so warda. And then the ta at the end, or the ta al-marboota at the end with the dhammatan, so warda tun. Okay, again, the ta al-marboota is making the same sound as a normal ta, or the ta al-maftuha, which we've already studied and understood. And then we've got another example, the lam with the dhamma, so lu, and then the ayn with a sukoon, the absence of a vowel, so together it would be lu'. And then we've got a ba here with a fatha, so lu'ba. And then finally we've got the ta al-marboota, okay? So as you can see, this form of the ta al-marboota is slightly different to the one that we've just been looking at, okay? So let's explain. When the letter that comes before the ta al-marboota cannot physically join to the next word or the next letter, then we will have this type of ta al-marboota, okay? It will be separate from that letter, and it will be a circular shape, just like the ha. Remember the ha, when it's by itself, it looks like this, okay? The ha by itself looks just like this, but we've added two dots because it's the ta al-marboota, all right? So again, if the letter before the ta al-marboota does not allow for the word after it to be physically attached, like the dal. Remember, the letter that comes after a dal cannot be physically attached to it, then we will have this shape for our ta al-marboota. And in fact, if it came after the ra, it would also look like this, because the ra also doesn't accept the next word to attach to it, just like the dal is not physically attached. And also the waw doesn't allow the next letter to be physically attached to it as well. So if we had the ta al-marbuta after a waw, it would also not physically attach to it, or rather it would appear like this, okay? Like a singular ha. Remember, the ha, when it's by itself, it looks just like this without the two dots above it. And this ta al-marbuta, it looks just like the ha when it's attached to a letter physically and it's at the end of a word, okay? So when the letter ha appears at the end of a word and it can physically attach to the letter before it, it appears just like this, okay? However, this has two dots above it because it's a ta al-marbuta, all right? Inshallah, that was clear. Then we have the word ghurfatun. Ghur, the ghain has a dhamma, so it's ghu. The ra has a sukoon, so an absence of a vowel, ghur. And then the fa has a fatha, so fa. And then the ta al-marbuta attached to the end with the dhammatan, okay? And because the letter fa accepts the next letter to physically attach to it, then we get this shape of the ta al-marbuta. Just like when a ha is the last letter of a word, it will look just like this, okay? But again, because it's the ta al-marbuta, it must have two dots above it. And it would even be pronounced with the ta, okay? Ghurfatun. Ghurfatun. And then something also very important is when this or any of these words, when a word ends with a ta al-marbuta, okay, and we stop on that word, meaning you've said a whole sentence, for example, and then the last word you said in your speech is the word kuratun, then we wouldn't actually pronounce the haraka on the end of that word, okay? We wouldn't pronounce the haraka on that ta al-marbuta, but instead we would pronounce it as the ha. So if we, for example, said a whole sentence and then we ended with this word kuratun, we would actually pronounce it as kurah. It would be pronounced as kurah, okay? So here I've put a sukoon on it. This is not how it would be written. This is just so you can understand the pronunciation, okay? So it would be kurah, all right? So again, if it was just like this, with the dhammatan above the ta, but it's at the end of the sentence, it's the last word in the sentence, it's the last word that you say, then we wouldn't pronounce this as kuratun, but rather we would pronounce it as kurah, okay? For example, you could say, لعبت كرة, okay? Or لعبت بالكرة. I played with a football, okay? Or with a ball, all right? So when it's the last letter, or rather the last word in a part of speech, then we would pronounce it as the ha with a sukoon above it. But if it's in the middle of a sentence, okay, then you would pronounce it as a ta. And whatever haraka it comes with. It could be a dhammatan, a single dhamma, a single kasra, two kasras, one fatha, or two fathas. Doesn't matter what haraka it would come with. If it's in the middle of the speech, meaning it's not the last word in the speech, then we would pronounce it as a ta with the haraka that it comes with. For example, kuratun, kuratan, kuratin. Okay? Jamil. Let's look at the next word. So, warudatun. Warudatun. Okay? So, if this was the last word in a part of speech or in a sentence, then we wouldn't pronounce it as warudatun. How would we pronounce it? We would pronounce it as warudah. Warudah. Okay? Warudah. We would pronounce it as if it's just a ha with a sukoon above it. That's if it's the last word in a sentence. But if it's not the last word and it comes before the last word, then we would pronounce the ta al-marbuta with whatever haraka it comes with. For example, warudatun, or if it comes with the kasratan, it would be warudatin, or if it came with the fathatan or the tanween al-fatha, we would say warudatan. All right? It doesn't matter which haraka it comes with, but we would pronounce it with the haraka as the ta. But if it's the last word in the sentence, then we would pronounce it as a ha with a sukoon, like this. Wardah, wardah. Okay? And then we've got lu'bah or lu'batun. So, lu'batun, here, it's got the dhammatan. If it's not the last word in a sentence, we would pronounce whatever haraka comes with the ta al-marbuta. For example, lu'batun. But if it's the last word in a sentence, we would not pronounce the haraka or the harakat that are on the ta al-marbuta, but rather we would pronounce it as a ha and sukoon. Lu'bah. Lu'bah. Okay? And then lastly, ghurfatun, or it could be ghurfatan or ghurfatin, no problem. Okay? So if this was not the last word in a sentence, then we would pronounce the ta al-marbuta as the ta with whatever haraka it comes with. If it comes with the dhammatan, we would say ghurfatun. If it came with the kasratan, ghurfatin, and with the fathatan, we would say ghurfatan. Okay? Jamil. But if it's the last word in a sentence, if the last word in a sentence has the ta al-marbuta at the end of that word, then we would not pronounce the haraka on the ta, and we would pronounce the ta as a ha. For example, ghurfah, ghurfah. Okay? Jamil. So inshallah, I hope that was crystal clear. In the next class, we're going to be looking at the shadda. The shadda. So as always, I'll see you in the next one.